everyone, this is Colleen Lemma, Starseed Astrologer and Spiritual Messenger, here with my new Empowered Moments video for the week of Monday, December 19th through Sunday, December 25th, 2022. For this week's Empowered Moments video, we'll be using the Light Seers Tarot by Chris Ann, a new deck of mine. And the special message card this week, depending on your stone of choice, will be coming from the Angels and Ancestors Oracle deck by Kyle Gray. Just a reminder that we are in the second half now of this last month of 2022. So if you haven't already watched the monthly Empowered Moments video for the month of December, or if you have and you want to refresh your memory, please go onto my YouTube channel and watch that complete with the astrological transits of significance, the energy vibration of the month, messages from our angels and guides, and a special message card depending on your stone of choice. So before we get into the many astrological occurrences that are happening this week, let's go ahead and close our eyes, settle our minds, and do an empowered moment. So grounding yourself with where you're sitting, closing your eyes if you haven't already, relaxing your body, clearing your mind of all thoughts, visualizing golden white light all around you. This is the golden white light of God's source energy, universe, all that is. Golden white light of protection and guidance and healing, peace and understanding and wisdom. Let's take a deep breath in and breathe in that golden white light into every cell of your body. As you exhale, you're letting go of all that your body, mind, and soul no longer needs. And focus on the idea, the thought, the intention that this week we have both a new moon in Capricorn, and that occurs just after the winter solstice when the sun moves into Capricorn. The winter solstice here in the northern hemisphere, called the summer solstice in the southern hemisphere. And with this idea of the solstice and with this idea of the new moon in Capricorn, new moon's times of new beginning, initiation. But yet before that new moon, we're in the dark of the moon, a time of death and rebirth and releasing, especially as we enter that darkest period of the year, meaning as far as the sun shining its light here in the northern hemisphere. We're in the longest of the darkest of days, and as the winter solstice here in the northern hemisphere begins or hits us, occurs, the days will be becoming longer, the sun will start to return. And I know for those of you in the southern hemisphere, it is the opposite. It's your day of the longest light and the shortest dark. And for those in the southern hemisphere, your days and the light gets shorter and shorter, and the nights start to become longer. But it's a very important transitionary time. Transitionary time, especially with the new moon this week, of endings and new beginnings, death and rebirth, self-reflection and healing. Let's breathe in those intentions, those ideas, those thoughts into every cell of our body, asking for an awakening of consciousness, a healing of the soul on all levels. And another deep breath. Breathing in the new beginnings and intentions that we're gearing up for as we begin shortly a new year. And as we exhale, again, we're releasing and letting go, transmuting all that we no longer need to carry. as we move towards that new energy of 2023. And when you're all ready and in your own time, you can open your eyes and return to this time, this place, and get ready to take a look at your stones of choice here for this week's reading. And the first stone is brown tourmaline. Now, a lot of you know and maybe even have a piece of black tourmaline. The brown tourmaline is such a dark brown it might disguise itself as black tourmaline, but this is in fact brown tourmaline. And some of the qualities of this particular stone is that it has a very strong grounding energy, positive, strong grounding energy, and it raises our life force energy, it raises our stamina, and it provides us with a protective energy. Our second stone of choice. It's always interesting when I come upon a stone that I'm not quite sure what it is and I have to do some research. This is one of those stones. I've had this for a very long time. And you can see when I kind of tilt it around, there's little sparkles of light in there. It's a gray stone. It's got some black inclusions, but also this reflective light. And I had to, again, do some research in the images section of Google to find out what this is. And I've never heard of this stone, and I had to laugh a little bit because it's called Euperlite. Euperlite. And interestingly enough, I was born and raised in the Upper Peninsula of Michigan. And any of you that are from Michigan at all probably know that they call people from the Upper Peninsula Youpers. So, we think of UP, Upper Peninsula, U-per, and that's where the Youper part came for the Michiganders from the UP, but this is called Euperlite, so I thought that was very funny. This is a stone of truth, and it allows one to recognize and express their feelings and thoughts objectively. Allows you to recognize and express feelings and thoughts objectively, stone of truth. And then our last stone of choice, I had to bring it out as a pair because, it's magnetic hematite. Okay? Magnetic hematite. Don't put this near your computer or maybe not your cell phone either. So magnetic hematite, this is going to clear blockages in your root chakra. The root chakra is your center of stability, security, feeling grounded, right? So this is going to help to clear blockages in that chakra, and it improves the ability to stand strong. So again, your stones of choice here. You got the brown tourmaline. You've got the Euperlite. And you've got the magnetic hematite. Okay, so let's talk about the astrology this week. We start out on Monday the 19th with Venus, planet of love, relationships, money and finances, personal resources, values, and our sense of self-worth. So she covers a lot of ground here. She's in practical Capricorn right now and challenging by square aspect Chiron, the wounded healer and shaman in Aries. So I'm going to go on and tell you the other couple of aspects happening because they're all working together on Monday the 19th. Venus also, after she makes that challenging aspect to Chiron, is going to make an inconjunct to Mars, the warrior, planet of energy, action, and forward movement, in vacillating nervous energy Gemini. So Gemini rules kind of our thoughts, ideas, perceptions, and Mars is putting energy into that. Venus is making an inconjunct. That's another difficult aspect, like the square to Chiron. And then Mars also is connecting with Chiron, but it's more in a positive way. Mars and Gemini, which is still retrograde, by the way, still moving in a retrograde fashion, is sextile Chiron, the wounded healer. So with Venus making the couple of difficult aspects to Chiron and Mars, I feel like we're doing a lot of soul wound healing. Now, this can be healing of things from this life or previous lifetimes, as Chiron is often known for, dealing with our sense of self, how we value ourselves, our courage, our confidence, our sense of individuality. But Venus being in Capricorn, that sign that rules career, life path, destiny path, goals, working hard towards accomplishing something. I feel like this aspect is, as we near that solstice energy, right, with the sun moving into Capricorn, I feel like we are healing these old wounds regarding what we may have not accomplished in this year 2022. We might have had big plans for 2022. We had our intentions at the beginning of the year. Throughout the year, we were working on projects and moving forward. And of course, around late summer, early fall, Mars, which is that forward movement of energy, went into Gemini and started causing this vacillating, unsure kind of havoc in our lives, basically, where there was a lot of uncertainty that came up. So Venus then again connecting with Mars and Gemini, we're needing to make some sort of adjustments, right? Rather than getting caught in this negative feeling or thought of the Chiron connection with Venus, we're needing to adjust how we're seeing something or perceiving something. We need to adjust how we're moving forward, what our goals are, the timing of the goals. We need to adjust any of that lower vibrational energy of feeling like we didn't accomplish what we set out to do, or that it's too late, or beating up on ourselves, or feeling like we've put so much effort in but didn't get to where we wanted to go, which comes to the Mars sextile Chiron on Monday, which is an opportunity to shift our thinking. It's an opportunity to shift our perspective. It's an opportunity to heal how we're feeling about our sense of self, how we're feeling about ourselves. And so look for that opportunity, or invite in the opportunity to shift that and bring healing, right? Shift your thoughts, shift your mind, shift your reality. On Tuesday, the 20th, Jupiter, planet that rules blessings, abundance, prosperity, as well as our belief systems and looking at the big picture. Jupiter likes to expand into the big picture of how we're seeing the world or seeing ourselves or seeing our lives. Jupiter is moving back into Aries now. Now, it went into Aries originally on May 10th of 2022 and stayed in Aries until October 28th of 2022. So Jupiter was expanding our sense of self, our individuality, our confidence, our courage, our initiation, new beginning capacity. We were seeing the big picture in a more confident way during that time. But then as it was retrograding on October 28th, it retrograded back into Pisces. So then the expansion quality of Jupiter, the belief system quality of Jupiter, moved back into this Piscean energy of, on the shadow side, confusion, illusion, delusion, uncertainty, anxiety. But on the positive side, Jupiter expanded our connection to the cosmos, expanded this idea of trust and faith and divine timing and the divine plan unfolding, and that we just have to surrender and go with the flow. Now again, from October 28th until now, December 20th, Jupiter has been in the last couple of degrees of Pisces. Now again on the 20th, moving back into Aries, where it will stay until May 16th, 2023. Okay, so from now until May 16th, we're back into expanding our sense of self, expanding into our confidence and originality, expanding into new beginnings and initiation of energies. It's a more fiery, expressive, vital energy with Aries, okay? On Wednesday, the 21st, the sun is making its transit into Capricorn, which it does around this time every year. So the sun will be in Capricorn, shining its light through this idea of Capricorn energies for the next month, which signifies the winter solstice. Sun in Capricorn is the winter solstice here in the Northern Hemisphere. Again, summer solstice in the Southern Hemisphere. Capricorn energies are about organization, work, focus, effort. It's about climbing the mountain step by step and working towards your goals. Capricorn is practical and grounded. It's about career, life path, destiny path. It's about responsibility, right? Taking responsibility for where one is, how far one has come, what one still has to learn, which is a perfect time of the year here, as we are in the solstice period and nearing a new moon, which we'll talk about in a minute. It's a perfect time to do some self-reflection, perfect time to focus on how far you've come in this year and where you still want to go as we move into next year. After the sun moves into Capricorn on Wednesday, it's going to then make a challenging square aspect to Jupiter, which has just gone into Aries. And so Jupiter likes to expand whatever it touches. So again, there might be this idea of expanding our insecurities when it comes to what we have and have not accomplished. So try not to allow yourself to get immersed or pulled too much into that energy. It's okay to look at what you have accomplished and what you still want to accomplish, but don't get sucked into the insecurity of not being good enough or not have working hard enough or putting forth enough effort to get to what it is that you wanted to manifest that maybe hasn't yet. Okay, a lot of this is about divine timing. Okay, working towards your goals is a process, right? It's part of the journey. So look at it from that perspective. On Thursday, the 22nd, we've got Venus still in Capricorn, right? Venus, love, relationships, money, finances, personal resources, values, and self-worth, in a positive trine aspect to Uranus, the Great Awakener, in Taurus. So she's feeling a little bit better here on the 22nd. She's feeling a little bit more confident, self-assured. There might be some sort of changes. She's maybe feeling a little bit more liberated or wants liberation or freedom in some way, or wants independence in some way. She wants to try something different, something new, something unusual outside of the box when it comes to Uranus. On Friday the 23rd, Chiron, the wounded healer, is stationed at 12 degrees of Aries and turning back to direct motion. So remember earlier in the week on Monday when we had Venus challenging Chiron? Chiron was already stationed. Chiron has been sort of at a standstill for the last at least couple of weeks, which has been magnifying his energies of old wounds, past life challenges, again, mostly regarding our sense of self, individuality, confidence, courage, etc. So with Chiron turning back to direct motion on Friday, we can probably expect that all this week especially, there might be, again, a revisitation of some old subconscious challenges or wounds regarding our sense of self, but also, again, the opportunity to have awareness of them and to push past them. Aries likes to push past something, right? Aries is a force of nature here. It's a fiery, passionate force. So push past some of these old wounds and ask for healing to take place on all levels, whether it be physically, emotionally, mentally, or spiritually. On the same day that Chiron turns back to direct motion, we have the new moon at 1 degree of Capricorn. So again, new moons are new beginnings. Previous to the new moon, however, we're in the dark of the moon, that time of healing, self-reflection, quietness, alone time, which is perfect for that winter solstice that we have on Wednesday, right? The new moon in 1 degree of Capricorn is challenging by square aspect Jupiter. Still, now the moon and sun both are squaring Jupiter. And so again, Jupiter may expand this idea of quietude. It may expand this idea of self-reflection. It may expand this idea of new beginnings when it comes to our goals, gearing up to looking at the bigger and brighter picture. But again, we need to push through some challenges first. And then on Saturday the 24th, the day before those of you that celebrate Christmas, we have Mercury, planet of the mind, the mental realm, thoughts, ideas, perceptions, communication, in a sextile to Neptune in Pisces. Sextile is a positive aspect of opportunity. So we have an opportunity here to connect with higher realms, our higher self, our angels and guides with that Neptune influence. And again, use practical ways of looking at something, but not just practical grounded mental energy. We want to connect that and merge that with spiritual trust, faith, miracle, magic, and blessings energy, okay? On the 25th, which again is Christmas for those of you that celebrate, there's no major aspects, but the moon, which is our emotions, our feelings, our subconscious, is going to be in Aquarius all day. Aquarius is pretty objective. It's not a mushy-gushy kind of emotional sign. So we are more friendship-oriented. We're more objective. We're more intellectual. We can talk about our emotions without getting kind of sucked into the negative emotional charge. The moon in Aquarius can be very intuitive, very psychic, and very inspired by higher vision, kind of like these aha moments, these epiphanies. So pay attention to that as well. All right, so that's a little bit about what's going on astrologically. Let's see what the messages are from our angels and guides. The first card came out as 2 cards here. So the first of those cards is the 4 of Cups. I just love this deck because it's so colorful. And I, as a Libra with a Leo moon, I love kind of the colors that this deck brings forth. But the 4 of Cups, I mean, look at how she looks here. She's looking very distraught. She looks like she's in a place of depression or despair, or she's reflecting on the past and what could have been, but what wasn't. Of course, the 4 of Cups, we see kind of 3 cups toppled over, but we see a 4th cup over here. And there's actually, if you can see, there's hands beneath the cup as if someone is offering, either someone or those of the higher realms are offering a blessing, offering a gift. There's something here that's still positive and good, but she's not even paying attention to it because she's been focused on these 3 cups, this emotional energy. Could it be about relationships, or it could be about happiness or joy that hasn't come to pass. And so again, she's not paying attention to the blessings that are still in her scope of beingness. She's not paying attention to the gifts that are being offered yet. She's kind of immersed in this emotional, stuck energy. And she could almost be feeling a little bit disconnected from her emotional body. To me, the number 4 is about disconnection, or kind of putting yourself in a box and not really even feeling, even if it's difficult emotional energy, that she's not even allowing herself to go there. She's just kind of glazed herself over, and she's disconnected from her own emotional body. But again, this cup with the blessings, beautiful tree that's kind of growing strong and bearing, lots of leaves. We've got this wonderful kind of, I don't know what this is in the background, but it's really beautiful, sort of vibrant energy here. To me, that reddish color is the root chakra of stability, security. Again, that's being offered, but she's not looking around. She's not looking at the beautiful blessings that are back here or down here. She's just kind of closed off right now. And that's part of that Venus challenging Chiron, bringing up some old kind of wounds. Now let's look at what comes out with this card. Okay, so this card is the 10 of Pentacles. Now, this is usually a very positive card, right? 10 of Pentacles means that there's ultimate fulfillment on a material, physical level. There's abundance, there's prosperity, maybe financially or in home and family or in job and career. There's all this wonderful abundance energy that comes to fruition. But because it came out with the 4 of Cups, I think is how we're reading this, right? Remember how I said earlier that Capricornian energy that seems challenged by different aspects this week is kind of reflecting on what we may not have accomplished in 2022 that we intended to, or things that didn't turn out the way we wanted them to. And that could be in any area of our lives. I think that this is what we were going for, right? We were going for the greatness in our career and life path, and the wonderful abundance and prosperity financially, and wonderful feelings with relationships or home and family matters. But instead, I think we are feeling the Four of Cups in relation to this energy. We're feeling either disconnected or depressed, or again disillusioned, or just not really good. We're so focused on what we didn't kind of get or achieve that again we're missing the blessings that are still all around us, with those people that do love and support us, or with those things that we did accomplish, or with the healing that we did experience within our own beingness. Those are the things that we need to, at least right now, focus on. Okay, let's look at the next card here. Okay, the next card is the Nine of Swords. Again, see the vibrant colors here, right? Even though it's a little more shaded and dark, we've got 9 kind of crows or birds there in the background. You can see that she also looks a little bit distraught. Now, the Swords is about the mental realm, thoughts and perceptions, whereas the Cups is the emotional realm, about feelings, right? But now we've got someone that's distraught on a mental level, someone that's feeling maybe very negative, or not feeling good enough, or it's almost like I hear crying over spilt milk, crying over things that haven't come to pass. You know, there's all these negative, and not that I think that crows are negative, because I love crows, and it's actually my Native American astrology totem, or raven or crow. But the crow energies here are signifying these negative mental thoughts, negative mental perceptions, kind of this rumination that you can't let go of being sort of maybe on a hamster wheel, and that things are, again, not the way that you would like them to be. Now, here in the background, I have to look kind of a little bit more closely at this. I'm going to say upon first glance, I'm wondering what this is here. Upon first glance, it looks like this is kind of an angelic messenger, right? Birds are messengers. Here, the black signifies that, again, the negative thoughts and perceptions we're having. But there's this angelic messenger that's trying to come in and kind of disperse some of that negativity. An angelic messenger that wants to come in and give these positive messages to this woman who feels in despair, or who seems to be distraught on some level. The thing about the number 9 here is that we're getting very close to the end of how we're thinking about something. We're getting to the end of negative perceptions and thoughts, because after the number 9 comes the number 10 in the minor arcana, and after the number 10 we go into the page, the knight, the queen, the king, the court cards. So the number 9 is the last of the single digits in numerology. So we're coming close to the completion of whatever this is all about. Again, I want to say this is old past life wounds, with Chiron, the wounded healer, slowing down, stationing to turn back to direct motion, challenging Venus, which is how we feel about ourselves, our sense of self-worth, or if we feel worthy and deserving, which squaring Chiron, we might feel unworthy in some way. So I feel like though we're moving to clear that out, this angelic messenger is trying to come in and help to clear this negative vibration energy out. So call in your angels and guides and healers of the light to assist in bringing a clearing. Okay, and then let's look at the last card here. Okay, the last card is Major Arcana 13. This is Death and Rebirth. Okay, this is the Death card in the traditional tarot, but look at how vibrant this is. I mean, it's not to me as scary as some other death cards, right? We do have kind of a hooded, faceless figure, but in the face of this figure instead is this bright picture of where we're going next. This fits perfectly with the solstice energy and the new moon at 1 degree of Capricorn, right? where we're moving into endings and new beginnings, death and rebirth, contemplation, self-reflection, healing, initiation into where it is we want to go next, or what it is we want to create and manifest next. This is the vision that we're holding as we move towards 2023. We're holding this vision of reaching for the highest and brightest star, okay? And we're releasing and letting go with death and rebirth energies, what we no longer need to carry. That red color, again, to me is root chakra energy, our sense of stability, our sense of security, our sense of being grounded in ourselves, our sense of accomplishment. Root chakra can deal with career, destiny path, finances, money. So again, what vision do you hold as we're gearing up and getting ready to move into 2023? Well, the new moon in Capricorn is this week, so you want to set your intentions, maybe even write out your intentions, maybe even speak your intentions on the new moon. Do a little ceremony of what you want to clear and release and what the new vision is going to be. Okay, let's take a look at your special message card depending on your stone of choice. All right, the first stone of choice was the brown tourmaline. Those of you that chose brown tourmaline. Nothing standing out quite yet, and this one is now standing out to me, brown tourmaline. Protection guardian. Okay, I think the brown tourmaline even talked about protection energies, right? So we got the protection guardian, and it says, drop your shields. So you might be in a mode of overprotection. You might be in a mode of insecurity, not trusting other people, or not even trusting yourself as you move forward, not knowing if you can make proper decisions for yourself. Part of that is just Mars and Gemini retrograde. It's been really an interesting, unsure, uncertain, and vacillating energy, and we're all experiencing that. But you don't have to beat up on yourself, right? So drop your shields, call in your angels and guides, ask for protection, ask for guidance, ask for them to lead the way for you as far as where you need to go next in life. She's got kind of like the seeing eye in the palm of her hand, right? At least I think that's the seeing eye. It's hard to tell, it's so tiny. But let's say it's the seeing eye, right? So it's like we're able to see with our mind's eye, our third eye, what it is that we desire for the future. And that's part of the manifestation process, is to visualize that. Maybe we're seeing intuitively through dreams or meditation time what we need to do next, how we need to move forward. And again, know that you're divinely guided and protected by this beautiful angel, by all your guides, by your ancestors, okay? You're being protected and led. This shield, again, a shield is for protection, right? A warrior has a shield for protection, but she's got it dropped. She's like, okay, 2022 is almost over. All these precarious energies are almost concluded, okay? Pretty soon, we're going to have Mars in January turning back to direct motion, which is going to be a good thing. Pretty soon, we're going to be going through a Mercury retrograde, but that also is going to be over in January, okay? So I'm feeling like we can start to drop our shields a little bit, okay? We've moved through a lot of difficult energies thus far in 2022, and it doesn't mean we're not going to have our different challenges in 2023, but for right now, it's a time of peace, right? This is a time of peace, self-reflection, feeling secure and grounded within yourself. So drop the shields, at least for this week or this time. Okay, let's put that back in the deck and let's look at Uper Light. All right, special message for Uper Light people. Uper Light. Okay, this one's calling my attention. It was right on the bottom. Drum. And it says, dream and journey. So this could actually be about doing a shamanic journey, right? Where there's a nice beat of the drum going on. You can get that kind of drumming music online, or maybe you have an old CD of shamanic drumming music, or maybe you want to go to a shamanic journey practitioner, or just do that meditation for yourself. Maybe you have a drum. Maybe it's time to pull out the drum and do some kind of ceremony and some drumming and some prayer and some intention during this new moon in Capricorn with the drum. Dream and journey. So it's time to journey in your mind's eye. Again, where do you want to go in the next week, the next month, the next year? Pay attention to your dreams, both your nighttime dreams and your waking dreams, which can also be called visions, right? So this is a time of, to me, healing and self-reflection, which again goes very well with the solstice energy and that energy as we lead up to the new moon in Capricorn. Okay, and then for those of you that chose the magnetic hematite, special message for magnetic hematite people. This one, as soon as I opened my eyes, of course, it was jutted straight up, right? Animal guardian. And it says, trust your intuition. We got a nice owl here with the animal guardian. Owls are a symbol, a totem of wisdom, higher learning, higher understanding, and wisdom. The owl has its wings spread out, right? So it's like, look at the bigger picture. Raise your sights. Kind of raise your vision, right? Let's fly a little higher and see a little deeper of what's going on. She's also got a little baby fawn in her hands, right? Deer are about gentle luring to new pursuits. So the fawn is kind of the beginning of this gentle lure of the universe, or from your guides, to new pursuits, new opportunities, new possibilities. Again, goes very well with the new moon, right? The new moon is a birth of a new energy, and we've got this little baby deer here to give birth to some new energy, learning something new, pursuing something new and different. Is there any other animals in here? Oh yeah, absolutely. So we've got the black panther, mystery and magic. Again, the dark of the moon and the dark of the winter solstice for those in the winter or the northern hemisphere, right? There's a lot of mystery and magic in the darkness, right? Even though it might be in the northern hemisphere, the shortest day of the year and the longest night of the year, that's when there can be a lot of magic that happens as we move through or into that darkness energy. Not darkness in a bad way, darkness in a mystery, magical sort of way. And then we also have, and I don't know what kind of bird this is, but again, birds are messengers. It almost looks like a black crow, but with some eagle or hawk feathers on it. I don't know. But again, there's messages here for us. So pay attention to the messages. Pay attention to the messages. Now it looks like a full moon here in the background. We have a new moon. So whatever this is for the next couple of weeks until we get to the next full moon, pay attention to whatever messages these totem animals and this animal guardian has for you. Where is it leading you? Where are you heading? Okay. And we've got also these wonderful earrings that this Native American animal guardian is wearing. So clairaudience, ear chakras, clairaudience. Listen to the messages you might be hearing in your head, or listen to the messages you might be hearing from other people or from other sources that seem to be just meant for you. Could be through a song, could be through something you read, could be through a conversation somebody's having either with you or with somebody else that you overhear. But use your clairaudience to receive these messages. All right, everybody, thank you so much for your love and support and for all your wonderful, beautiful comments. Send you lots of love and light and many blessings, and Happy, happy holidays to each and every one of you. Namaste.